Are we back? Are we back? Stream's looking like it's in good health now. Can you confirm? Hello, hello. All right, I think we're back. Because I don't know, man. That was weird. So I restarted my computer a couple times and then just checked for updates in OBS and did a quick update on that, and it seems to be fine. So yeah, I mean, it's saying I have good health on my end. No, I didn't restart the router because the Wi-Fi never went off. But it was like possibly an OBS update issue, maybe. Um, because I mean, I started the computer twice and it didn't seem to fix it, and then I updated OBS, like the streaming software I use, and now it's showing all green, like it's good. All right, well, shit. Sorry for the interruption. I'll try to take it back a little bit and get back to where we were.
He wants this game to continue to be. Graphics aren't an issue. The game looks great for being an 8-year-old game, but the code and the underlying structure.
I know we kind of left off around here when you were
dog years.
messaging.
I'm not even going to pretend to know what it takes to maintain development.
And I'm assuming it might have been around this time that it was fucking up on you or something. We'll see.
But it doesn't seem like this game's bones can handle the growth as the series approaches adolescence. With every update, seemingly there's something within its spaghetti code that breaks, and sure, these guys and gals are so familiar with their old faithful of a Buick, they know just how to patch it up and keep it running. But I don't know if it's sustainable for the longer term like they want it to be. In my opinion, develop a new engine, drop the number, and just call it Destiny. Full factory reset, include everything starting at the edge of fate, because that's the beginning of a new story arc, but nothing else carries over. New systems and advancements are integrated at baseline, and it can grow forever from there. I'd be fine with that. Leave Destiny 2 available.
And I'll kind of reiterate this, unless in case somebody else is watching. I don't know if you caught it last time there, Nordic, but you know, similar to how Destiny 2 incorporated some of Destiny 1's story for like the New Light experience and stuff like that. Like, you know, we have the Edge of Fate campaign, the Edge of Fate, the Prophecy saga, whatever it is, that we kind of just got into. Like, we're not going to see that finished, because they're done. They're cutting it off. They're adding a bunch of updates, but then we're not going to see that story conclude. But, you know, start there. If they do work on a Destiny 3, start there. You know, have that be the content that it starts with, you know, the Edge of Fate, the Renegades, and then wherever that story was going, you know, take the time to flesh it out while it's in development. And you kind of have content already available. You know, you could add things, whatever, but you could really probably flesh that out with the 9. I mean, that seems like there's a lot of lore there that you could really get into.
To play for those who can't embrace the change until they eventually abandon it for the new hotness. Don't add anything new to D2, leave it as it lies, maintain any technical needs, and keep it viable. Let it die a Guardian's death. Now, with all the friendly fire Destiny 2 and Bungie have been under lately, I'll admit, I love watching it. It does get views, and even though the streamers lament to stooping to this low, they don't want to talk negatively about the game that they love. They know it's a popular topic, but they also know something needs to be said. D2 is their livelihood and the reason many of them became known. They do what they do for many of the same reasons I listed in my history. Then it became something more for them. Also, let me reiterate, these are my thoughts and not necessarily concrete examinations. To be honest, I watched this house burn because I used to live there. It now confirms to me that I got out in time. It provides me solace. It helps me come to grips with my departure, and I feel validated. On that note, the content creators are fed up as well. For them, it might feel like this long-term relationship that's gone stale. Like their partner has stopped trying, they barely keep up appearances anymore, they become lazy, and the grind to their pinnacle cap just feels long, arduous, and just not worth it. It's scary to leave something you love. I'm confident that most will be fine. They have the personality and the fan base that's going to follow them anywhere. And from time to time, they'll
And I talked
remember the
about
fun
this
they
too before it started freezing. I watched through several reactions to the TWID today. I watched Aztecross, Sweatsickle, Lucky 10. Who else? I saw one from Penguin, or what's his name? Moist Critical, which he's not really a Destiny player, but I just watched something on him. Who else did I watch? I don't know if it was anybody else, but Dado. Dado was crying. He was, which I mean, it's fine. You can be emotional, but they all seemed like worried because they spent so much time with this game. That's how they became known. That's how they got big. Aztecross, probably a millionaire at this point. Dude's got millions of followers and subscribers and stuff. But it's like, what are they going to do now? This game that carried them for so long. Now what are they going to do? Because they'll jump in for this last hurrah. But what comes after that? I know that some of them have been like venturing off, and doing some other things, but nothing out there is Destiny. Nothing is like it.
had and look back on it fondly. Moving on, I want to talk about the financial cost of Destiny because I hear so many complaints about the Eververse and the many expansions needed to have the full game, even though many of them can't be played anymore. They've added this, but they're not adding a new strike. You can pay for Taken armor, but we don't get any new activities. Some might feel like they've been robbed because they paid for an expansion like the Forsaken campaign and they can't play it anymore. I can get on board with this. I never played the Forsaken campaign. I guess a lot of the systems that came in with Forsaken are still there. I hear about it being like the reawakening of Destiny and the revitalization. They kind of brought it back, and
which is kind of insane to me because when I first got into Destiny all those years ago, like I said, I think it was like midway through the Witch Queen expansion. And then my friend and we bought like the Legacy pack at the time, which had the Forsaken pack, Shadowkeep, like 30th anniversary pack or whatever, and then like Beyond Light and Witch Queen or whatever. And like it had the Forsaken pack, and I thought, well, okay, so there's another campaign or whatever, but it was just like guns and exotics and all that stuff, and it had the destination and the dungeon, I guess, and the raid. But then I was like, where the hell's the campaign? Like I thought I paid for a campaign, you know, and people talked about it like Forsaken, oh man, Forsaken. It's like the, you know, woke the game back up or whatever, but uh yeah, I never got to experience it. I mean, now you can play like the one mission where Cade 6 dies or whatever, but not Cade 6. Is it Cade 6? Yeah, whatever.
and grew its fan base. But I can't play it. I never have, so I guess I never will. If you buy something, it should be yours to keep. You clicked the button that says buy now or purchase, and now I know there's some kind of petition online to have digital purchases remain accessible. I'm not sure where that's going to go, but in the meantime, would it make sense to refund a portion of that amount when content's removed? They've taken something away from you. So I don't know, give these buyers like 1,000 silver or something. It's digital currency. Who cares? Anyway, if they're not going to leave the content available, change the store verbiage to access or rent. At least then it gives the indication that it's not a forever acquisition. But that's kind of an aside. So now the cost of Destiny 2 for me. It was pretty straightforward to look back exactly how much I spent, looking through my transaction history on the PlayStation app. And since 2022, I bought the game for $742. Of that, $395 was spent on silver. So really, I paid about $350 for the content. If you're one that's just thinking about jumping in, I know what you're thinking. Man, that's a lot of money for one game. But I'm going to break it down for you. With 3,000 hours in the game, I was spending about 12 cents an hour. It's pretty cheap, honestly. With all the cost included, it would come to about 25 cents an hour. On the other hand, if I pay $70 for a game and I spend 100 hours in it, and that's kind of giving it some grace, then I've spent 70 cents an hour. So the cost is what you make of it. Not to mention the
Just
friendships
mathing it up.
forged along the way, the laughs, the dopamine hits, and all the other memories.
Whatever you
When
can
it
do to
comes to
justify the purchase.
Eververse, I will say some of it is way too expensive. $20 for a set of armor, $20,
Which is
on
still
one character.
ridiculous.
Like, give me a break,
$20.
man.
So like when they would release like armor sets that were badass. You had 20,000 hours in Destiny 1. Jesus Christ, what did you do? But yeah, $20 up for one piece of armor. So then if it's like similar, you know, a set between the different classes and you want to get them all, $60 for 3 sets of armor, dude, that is just totally nuts to me. But yeah, dude, eat shit, sleep in the game. Yeah, man. Speaking of which, like, so like I said, I just picked up Destiny 2, playing it with fresh eyes, new light, kind of starting from the bottom. But now, like, looking back, it's like a lot of people have been jumping into Destiny 1, and I did buy it like several months ago and started playing around with it because it was like $20. But I kind of want to get back into or experience that to get through some of those raids like King's Fall and um Vault of Glass and well, I guess Crota's End. I don't know if there's any other ones. Not sure, but yeah, eventually I'll get around to that, I guess.
Now, I did love making sure that my drip in game was top notch. And if I can fly around the galaxy in an Echo 1 station wagon while wearing a Stormtrooper armor set with a Zur Ghost, you better believe I'm going to. And I was a Warlock main. So if it's worth it to me and I have some disposable income, I don't mind spending it on a game that I love. But again, some of that stuff is too pricey. And realistically, no one has to buy it to enjoy the game. You can leave all that aside. But they make some of it so damn sexy. But As I come to the conclusion, I left Destiny because the main story was done. Like I said, it was the perfect spot to end it. And it feels weird to have all that time spent in a game to now say, all right, well, we have the same game, but we're starting over with a new story. We have this community, this game engine, and all these reusable assets here. Why grow and evolve? Maybe because you don't want to get left in the dust? Can you
Which
imagine
they
if
did.
Apple made the iPhone 2 and said, this will be your forever phone. We're not going to make another one. Eventually, another phone comes along named Arc Raiders, and you want it. I can't say with a
uh, I think that's like a really good analogy on my part. Imagine that, you know, they made the iPhone. It was great. Everybody loved it. And they came out with the iPhone 2 and it was advanced and all that sort of stuff. And what if Apple said, this is it? This is the one you'll have. And they never, you know, give it some updates here and there. And then that's your phone. Nah, man, we want the new hotness. Let's move on whenever the story's done, you know?
100% confidence that I'm done with D2 in its current state. If it's
Take that
able to
back a
ramp
little
up,
bit.
eventually another phone comes along named Arc Raiders, and you want it. I can't say with 100% confidence that I'm done with D2 in its current state. If it's able to ramp up installments of new content and warrant another couple hundred hours, I'll jump back in. But right now, frankly, I'm holding out hope that they'll give up on this pursuit and tread a new path to destiny. All right, gamers. I guess that's all I really wanted to say. I'm just a guy who loved a game that doesn't do it for me anymore. On a side note, recently, since I enjoy gaming and I kind of needed a hobby, I decided to start creating content as well for fun. I bought all this gear for streaming, and eventually I'm going to build a PC. Got a couple of videos on the page going over the gear. If you want to check it out, see what I'm using.
Yeah, man. So I did want to get to the TWID. Yeah, I mean, Destiny was just so, like, it scratched all the itches, man. Like the ability spam, the gunplay, the movement, the enemies, like the environments, like it scratched all the itches. It was just so satisfying. But yeah, wrote a book. It's like, well, no more Destiny. I'm just going to write a book. All right. So I did want to go through and just kind of read through this, even though I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. You can get a casual gamer's perspective here. Destiny 2, every end is a new beginning. So for almost 12 years, we've had the joy and honor to explore the Destiny universe with you all. Through all the ups and downs, surprises and triumphs, building Destiny alongside our players has been a monumental privilege. While our love for Destiny 2 has not changed, it has become clear that after the final shape, we have reached the time for our shared worlds and Destiny to live beyond Destiny 2. You know, I saw a lot of streamers talk about that, you know, they're trying to look too far into those words. We've reached a time for our shared worlds and Destiny to live beyond Destiny 2, which they think means Destiny 3 or whatever. Well, I mean, beyond can be a lot of things. As our focus turns towards a new beginning for Bungie, which there's a lot in that, I think. A new beginning for Bungie. So it's like we're starting over with something, whatever that is. I mean, they have Marathon that they're going to try to, you know, see that it matures into something that people want to engage in. But their focus turns towards a new beginning. So it's like they're saying, we're starting over. We will begin work incubating our next games. To that end, on June 9th, 2026, we will release the final live service content update for Destiny 2 to begin that new journey as a studio. So they're saying Destiny 2's done so that we can start anew. They'll begin work incubating our next games. So like I said, there's all sorts of ways you can interpret this. And I'm just here to give my commentary. Yeah, exactly. So and not necessarily like postponed games, they totally like cut them out. Apparently there were a lot of things in the works. There was some kind of like gummy bears, something or other. Matter, I don't know, some kind of matter game or something. I don't know, but you know, maybe they put them in hiatus and kind of just like, all right, well, off to the side for now. You know, and that's part of that I think was with the Sony acquisition, because they're like, we bought you for this much money. We want to see a return on the investment. At this point now, they've lost like $750 million, or they've devalued their company $750 million. But to me, looking at that, hang on a second. I'm gonna be right back. Stand up here. I'm gonna be right back. Use the bathroom. This will be the first time I've stood up at my desk on stream. Let's see if I can adjust my camera over here. All right. Like buying a Porsche and getting a fucking Kia motor. Yeah. Buying a Porsche and then realizing it has a lot of shit wrong with it. It's a fucking lemon. It's like, yeah, it runs. You just got to rev the gas constantly at the stoplight. The front bumper's there. I tried to hide the duct tape as much as I could. No, I don't know, man. Oh, dude, freaking what was that game that failed miserably? I don't know, the live service game that was on for like 2 weeks and quit. I can't even remember it. Concord, yeah. All right, so let's do a little analysis here. So, like I said before, towards a new beginning, it's like we're starting fresh kind of thing. We got Marathon, but we're gonna Destiny has served its purpose. We're starting to see where we're going from here, incubating our next games. So basically they're planting the seed. To me, that doesn't mean that there's anything necessarily in the pipeline. Obviously, the near guarantee of success would be a Destiny 3. But incubating our next games. I mean, Bungie cooks, dude. When they have an idea, it cooks. Halo, Destiny. Marathon, if they hadn't had such a big scandal with that art thing, man, I mean, people could have been like, yeah, cool. But even with that, they're talking about adding a PvE mode. Which, honestly, like, extraction shooters, like, so I played Arc Raiders for a little bit, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun, but then I kept getting griefed by rats and whatnot. So then that kind of turned me off a little bit. I'm like, I don't want to go in there and just, like, die to some asshole that snuck up on me and took all my shit. But yeah, extraction shooters like Tarkov, and sounds like Marathon's a little more hardcore than an Arc Raiders, but they're adding a PvE mode, and honestly that kind of interests me a little bit. So we continue. We released the final live service content update for Destiny 2 to begin that new journey. Destiny 2's done. We're starting fresh. They said it twice there to me, right here, as a studio. And honestly, too, like, looking back, Destiny, like, Bungie is not the same. It's not the same studio. And, the people that started Halo and then eventually, like, early Destiny and Destiny 2, a lot of them aren't there anymore. And I can appreciate, and I know this might be a hot topic, I can appreciate that, they embraced inclusivity, because not all gamers are middle-aged men like me. There are women, there are men, there are young, there are old, they're gay, they're straight, they're all different colors. Like, they tried to incorporate parts into their game that are parts of our daily life. We're not all just badass guardians, whatever. Like, the universe, yes. I mean, people look at it and they're like, oh, as soon as they put inclusivity, they became woke. It destroyed the game. Maybe that's true. But I don't know, man. Like, don't let that be the reason the game got destroyed for you. Like, what's his face? Osiris and what's his face? They're gay. Like, yeah, there's gay people in our life too. Like, yes, maybe you didn't appreciate that they put it right there in your face, but let's be real, man. It's real life, and they're trying to incorporate some of that aspect into this fantasy world, because it's not all what we imagine as a fantasy. So just, I don't know, man. People that make that like, oh, that woke culture, that's what destroyed it. Don't let that be the reason it was destroyed for you. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. But I can also see like why people feel that way, because they're like, I don't want, even a part of the clan I was in, whenever that whole story arc came through with Saint 14 and Osiris, and man, I'm not playing for this game for this gay shit. I'm like, God, dude, like, I have family members that are gay that I love, you know, like, it kind of hurts me that I'm hearing my clanmates like talk about. I mean, they would say shit like, man, you know, if my son was gay, this and that. Like, I don't know, man. Wake up a little bit. We don't live in a fantasy world where everything is how you want it to be. But anyway, getting off on a tangent. Overall, honestly, people are just pissed because this game gave them so much over the years and they want more. And, you know, they have these expectations, and when expectations aren't met, that's how resentments are made. So you find whatever. I'm an alcoholic. I've been in recovery for 7 years. I know what it means to have resentment. And you know, resentment is the number one offender for addicts and alcoholics to go back to what they used to do. So I'm very mindful of that type of shit. I don't want it in my life. I don't need resentment. You know, stop with the expectations. But anyway, let's continue. We barely got into this. All right. So, though active development may be concluding, we'll ensure that Destiny 2 remains playable, which is awesome. Love that. Just as the original Destiny is today, many changes in the final update will aim to ensure Destiny 2 is a welcoming place for players to return to. And, like, I kind of picture Destiny 1 right now, like how Destiny 2's flailing a little bit, even before this announcement. And people are flocking back to Destiny 1. So like years down the road, maybe Destiny 2 came out in 2017. So what, Destiny 2 is like 12, 9 years old, or Destiny 1, 9 years old. People are flocking back to it. So, 5, 6, 7 years time, people jump back into Destiny 2, man, they're going to have so much shit to do. Yeah, which I'm going to do eventually. Go back to Destiny, and I never played through it. I started it, and I got like a few missions into the intro campaign or whatever, and life got in the way. I just got other shit to do, but I'd like to get back to it and just see what it's all about. I got some friends that were jumped back in, and they were, looking for a full fire team for some raids. I'd love to go back and do some of those old school raids and see what it was like then. Yeah, that's the thing. People want it on PC too. All right. We're proud of Destiny 2, the places it took us, and the legacy it has created. Because of you all, our universe is vast, built on years of shared stories, adventures, and victories. From the Cosmodrome to the Pale Heart to the Lawless Frontier, we have forged lifelong memories and friendships with you all. Incredibly grateful to everyone who made that journey with us. From the deepest part of our hearts, thank you, and we'll see you in the stars. And I saw some content creators talk about this line right here. We'll see you in the stars. What does that mean? What does that mean? Destiny 3. No, it just means that the game's not dying, a proper death. It's not going anywhere, so they'll still be playing it, jumping in. We'll see you there. That's all that means. Don't look into it. All right, Destiny 2 Monument of Triumph. Destiny 2 dev team talking here. Since Destiny 2 launch, Guardians have turned back the darkness, defeated gods, shattered blades, banished nightmares, outplayed Savathun at chess, and forged legendary stories across the Sol system. June 9th, Destiny 2 Monument of Triumph will be available to all players. We are inviting all Guardians to take part in a celebration of these accomplishments. Legends, Dredgens, Renegades, Conquerors, New Lights, and everyone in between. So I wonder, like, if this monument here in the middle, like, is that going to be a permanent fixture now? Like in the back of where, you know, that little bridge is that goes to Zavala or something? Because they said they're still going to do Iron Banner every 4 weeks, so that needs to be in the front, but kind of wonder if that's going to be a permanent fixture. Speaking of which, too, let's see if I can pull it up. I was going to stream this on YouTube as well, and I started to, but then I had issues with my internet for some reason. But I use AI to make thumbnails for YouTube. So I'm going to show y'all this thumbnail I created. A sec here. For the YouTube for this video. All right, here's the thumbnail I made. Enjoy. That's me as an awoken warlock. Destiny 2 2017 to 2026 entering maintenance mode. Farewell Destiny. You got Zavala and Ikora over there. Traveler in the background. It's raining. I'm sad. I'm crying. Yeah, that's oh yeah. Each year since launch, Moments of Triumph celebrated highlights from Destiny 2's most recent chapter. This time, the Monument of Triumph update will broaden that celebration, bringing together experiences from across Destiny 2. Legendary marks return from Ages of Triumph past, which I don't know what that is. Legendary marks. Sounds like something they used to have. But earned by completing a game-wide array of triumphs, they will grant access to a vast selection of free armor, ornaments, accessories, weapons, engrams, and more. An additional title and armor ornament set awaits those who range widely in their deeds, immortalizing your legacy in Destiny 2. But this update has much more to offer than the monument itself. So yeah, just a way to earn free stuff by doing the different triumphs. Rediscovering Soul. We've been embracing the mission of making this update feel meaningful, looking back at many of the requests that players have shared with us over the years while finding ways to bring some of them to life. And now on June 9th, we're aiming to deliver a collection of love letters to players across all activity types within Destiny 2. Although many were intended for future releases, we wanted to make sure you had them in this update. Our goal is to ensure that Destiny 2 can be a place for you to come back to feel rewarded no matter what you play, while also having enough variety and activities to fit your mood for a given play session. Whether you're looking to play competitively, slay a god or two, or just spend some time exploring destinations, there'll be something for you. Below you'll find a laundry list of features and bullets, but expect further blog breakdowns to give a full picture, and of course a few surprises for you to find on launch day too. Which that'll be interesting, you know, something that some extras that they're not going to talk about. Story: Monument of Triumph will deliver small character beats to leave the story and characters in interesting places, touching on themes across Destiny. We encourage reading and exploring to find all the Easter eggs, callbacks, reveals, and love for the lore hounds. So I didn't really see a lot of people touch on this too much, but Monument of Triumph will deliver small character beats to leave the story and characters in interesting places. So I'm gonna guess like part of the delay is they knew that this was happening, like, you know, this expansion or the mid-season update or whatever was supposed to come out back in March, and they delayed it, you know, theoretically for Marathon's release. But yeah, similar to how they did with the Final Shape, where they delayed that one probably so they could add like the prismatic subclass, the new dread enemy type, all that stuff. So it's going to deliver small character beats to leave the story and characters in interesting places. So small little, maybe like one mission type thing to see maybe where some of these people are going to be or do, or I don't know. So a little something to kind of say goodbye, I guess, which would be nice. Return to the director. Yes. I still like, even though the portal, like, it's kind of a one-stop place for activities and stuff, like, I still miss like just hitting that button and going right to this, you know, main screen. But yeah, it's a lot, man. Moon, EDZ, Cosmodrome, Lawless Frontier, Kepler, all that stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool. We've embraced the player feedback about the director and portal, and a newly refreshed director returns to its rightful place as the center of activities in D2. All portal activities are still available via lists in the nodes at the bottom of the director. So down here. So we got the typical Vanguard, Crucible, Gambit, and then the Legacy tab, and then this will be Portal tab. Pantheon 2.0. Nordic, you might have left before the other Pantheon. I'm not sure. It was during the Into the Light update. I was actually able to manage getting the God Slayer title, which I thought was pretty awesome. It was tough, but did it. Pantheon 2.0. Now, like all of these, was this Galron, Callus, and whatever this Vex thing is. None of that was there when I started playing Destiny 2. But I'll be looking forward to jumping in and trying to get that done. New Pantheon's coming as a permanent addition with a fresh slate of bosses and to challenge and overcome. June 9th, the first slate of bosses becomes available with 2 activities, each featuring a unique roster of bosses. 2 different activities, 2 different sets of bosses. I'm not really sure if that's going to be the old ones or a mix of old and new. June 13th, what we're calling the Gauntlet. The full lineup of boss encounters in a single activity. Now, June 16th, encounter rotations begin. Players can attempt featured single boss encounters for rewards. Yeah, so Pantheon, obviously, that was with the Into the Light update. It was awesome, dude. Like that with Onslaught and the old weapons coming back. I mean, that Into the Light update was top notch. And when you were coming to fight the Witness, so it was like everybody was in grinding and getting that Godslayer title. That was like an accomplishment. I stayed up till like 4 or 5 in the morning just trying to beat the final boss. I think it was which one was it? Because I got Riven of 1,000 Voices and Nezrak, like in that final tier of the Pantheon. I got those done like early and then went back and was trying to get like the platinum score or whatever on was it not Atrax? Was it Atrax? No, not Atrax. Maybe it was. Anyway, from Deep Stone Crypt. And what else do we have? What's his face from Val the Disciple? Anyway, stayed up late just trying to get it done. Finally got it. I was proud of that. But anyway, kind of with this gauntlet, full lineup of bosses. The full lineup of bosses. Does that mean, like, are they going to bring back... I got to change this. Does that mean they're going to bring back the lineup from Into the Light and have those available plus these 3 or these plus more from the other raids? I mean, I'm going to assume maybe they'll have the one from, what is it, Desert Perpetual? I mean, I would assume they would want to throw a newer one in there, but it would be kind of cool if they're going to make this a permanent edition, if they brought back the other, just so that it's there. Yeah. Raid and dungeon loot updates. All raid and dungeon weapons and armor have been revisited to bring them to modern standards with full tier parity, set bonuses, new perks, and more. Crafted weapons will have an upgrade path for tiers 1 through 5, with more information coming in a future article. Weekly featured raids and dungeons return, giving players additional opportunities for high-tiered rewards each week. We have all the details and specifics planned for an upcoming TWID. I mean, that's cool. Like, I guess especially since I started like a new light, you know, and I'll be going through all the other expansions and stuff. Like, that character doesn't have any experience in the raids and dungeons, so as I get into the end game and start playing some of those, then I'll just have the newest weapons, I guess, the newest tiered weapons, which some people say that tiered weapons kind of ruined tiered armor kind of ruined some of the experience of Destiny and the chase and stuff, because once you get to a certain point, it just starts dropping tier 5s like crazy. Whatever. I mean, you get a tier 5 weapon, it has enhanced across the board, and it's like 3 perks in column 1, 3 perks in column 2, and you got variety. You can basically mix and match, you know, and you're still grinding to find that perfect balance of either. Anyway, I don't know, man. Like, people just bitch too much about this game because they just had those expectations. They're like, man, it needs to be what I want it to be. Not this bullshit. But anyway, just have fun with it, man. Destinations, a trip down memory lane. Destination weapons and armor have also been revisited to bring them to modern standards with full tier parity, set bonuses, new perks, and more. Some destinations will have distortions, a new addition to bring more variety and a touch more challenge to your time planet side. Distortions also bring unique rewards to earn for participating beyond your slate of destination drops. That, like, this as part of the update to me is very interesting. Because it gives us a reason now to go back to places like the Cosmodrome and the EDZ and Nessus to see what it has to offer. So like the armor, like I don't even know, you know, what weapons and armor drop from certain destinations, because I know for a while it's been just like a rotating pool of weapons. And like it's not necessarily, it was usually like blues and I don't know, stuff like that, but it wasn't like if I wanted a weapon, oh, I got to go to this destination to get it. With the exception maybe of the Dreaming City and doing the that activity there. And you got the destination specific armor and weapons from that, but like EDZ and Cosmodrome, nothing really sticks out as far as, you know, destination specific things. But then some destinations will have distortions. Bring more variety and a touch of challenge. So like, I don't know, is that going to be kind of a random, like just like a public event, I guess, but different, where it pops up and you're like, oh, there's a distortion on Nessus. I'm going to jump in and go check that out. And yeah, I don't know. See what that is. But I mean, I think that's cool. I think that's probably one of the cooler things of this update, that they're going to give you a reason to go back to some of these places you don't really care to go to anymore. Sandbox, new abilities and ability updates, new aspects. Solar Hunter, Crackshot, Void Warlock, Soul Siphon, Solar Titan, Shield Burst. New Hunter melee, Void Hunter, Phantom Surge. Phantom Surge for a melee. New grenades, all classes, Strand Slice Wire Grenade. All classes, Stasis Shatter Grenade. Class specific abilities. Warlock, Titan, and Hunter all getting some new love. Mind Spun will interact with Threadling Grenade. What does Mind Spun do? Oops. Mind Spun Invocation Strand Aspect for the Broodweaver Warlock. Enhances your grenade-based abilities. Grapple, making them more effective for creating threadlings and suspending enemies. Oh, yeah. Enhances your grenades. What a... Threadling. Well, Mind Spun already interacted with Threadling Grenade. Hold to consume and immediately generate 5 perch threadlings. Anyway, Wardadon getting a complete rework, so hopefully it'll be one of those where you can like throw it out there and shoot through it. That'd be nice. And then Trapper's Ambush has new capabilities and more. Sandbox elevating exotics. All exotic armors earned since the Edge of Fate launch will be automatically upgraded to have tier 5 stats. We've made some changes to a handful of exotic armors. As an example, what if Warlocks could throw 2 Nova Bombs in quick succession to create an even larger explosion? More on this in a future TWID. Like, that makes me think about, what was that? The Skull of Dire Ahamkara. Provides additional damage resistance during Nova Bomb final blows, and weapon final blows while you have Devour grants super energy. So, like, I feel like they just tuned that one up, but that wording, that verbiage on that makes me think about that. Because that was the only one really with like a Nova Bomb specific perk or whatever. Unless I'm mistaken. Various exotic weapons will receive a tuning pass. And many will be receiving Catalyst, which that's cool, man. There's a lot of weapons out there that... the exotic weapons that don't have catalysts. I've seen videos maybe of people talking about what could the catalyst be if they give it one. The only thing, though, I guess I'm kind of... maybe they could add it, but, like, I wish they would have given some more love to Stasis and Strand. Because, I don't know, having another melee for Void Hunter is great. You know, maybe another one for Warlock would have been good too. But like having another super for Strand, another super for Stasis, that would have been like an extra little touch of love there that they could have, you know, expanded the build crafting and stuff like that. But I mean, it is what it is. Portal overhaul. All portal activities are still available to players via the portal nodes at the bottom of the director. We've taken a deep pass on the portal's difficulty system to ensure players can approach ops categories and have fun with Destiny 2 while still being rewarded. We want to remove choice paralysis. Players should be able to sign in. I don't really care too much about this because portal's like whatever. So they want to make it easier to jump in and get rewards. Expanding the offering. Oh, expanding weapon offerings. Armors. Onslaught and Crawls, Contest of Elders in the Coil, have received balance passing on difficulty and length. All 3 activities once again feature escalating difficulty over time rather than starting at the highest. Onslaught has been rebalanced to remove revive tokens, and you get more scrap more often to bring back the feeling of building up defenses over time. Shax maxing has returned. A few weapons will also be making a return, only available through Onslaught. Removing revive tokens, does that mean like you don't have to worry about dying? Or you die once and you're done? My guess is the former. That you don't have to worry about reviving. You'll just die and come back. A few weapons will also be making a return, only available through Onslaught. Contest of Elders has been reduced from 4 laps down to 3 to help the activity flow better. Crucible playlist, private matches, and balancing. Not really a huge fan of PvP. Not really going to cover this too much, but they're adding some throwbacks to Destiny 2 or Destiny 1 balancing. This might be fun. Software, third-person abilities only. So, like, which makes me think, are you going to be... You'll be in third person the whole time. You can see wherever you're going and see around corners and stuff like that. Iron Banner, which I think this is nice. This is a nice touch. Iron Banner return every 4 weeks. And trials will appear on non-Iron Banner weeks. Heavy Metal returns with a third vehicle type. Cabal Walker, brand new map. The Cabal Walker, that must be the like the, was it ATST kind of like thing from Star Wars. I don't think I ever really played the Heavy Metal when it came around. Full suite of competitive Crucible weapons, tiered, unique armor, Gambit Ops. Gambit is being upgraded to an Ops category and receiving a rewards refresh, new armor to earn with a unique set bonus. We're reprising iconic Gambit weapons as tiered gear with new perks to earn. Seasonal events are being retired. That was something that kept people coming around. Festival of the Lost, Dawning, Guardian Games, and Solstice. So a collection of rewards that can be earned through engrams on a Monument of Triumph vendor. So adding a new vendor. I wonder how long, if that'll be around forever. Armor ornament sets previously available for Bright Dust will be available not only through direct exchange, but also through Bright Engram focusing. Which, I mean, that's cool. They're bringing some, like, you can get weapons and stuff, because there was a few from the Guardian Games, I think it was. It was a nice little Waveframe heavy grenade launcher that I liked. Festival of Lost had some favorites there. Eververse, Silver, and Bright Dust continue to be earnable. Cosmetics, they're expanding the offering of cosmetics that can be acquired with Bright Dust. Silver is going to obviously continue to be available to purchase because I need to kind of trickle in some money somehow. Bright Dust rotations being changed from weekly to daily, which I'm not really sure what that means, because, like, just jumping back in recently, if I was just playing the game, I was getting different, like, challenges and stuff that would give me Bright Dust. But I don't know, maybe there's a limit to what you can get daily or weekly or whatever. Given them more opportunities to change this earned currency for the cosmetics they desire. We've added a focusing system for your bright engrams. Using engrams and some Bright Dust, you can select an array of engrams that guarantee an item category result and do not produce duplicates, gradually filling out your collection, which is cool. Rewards Pass. Monument of Triumph update brings an updated Rewards Pass, what was originally planned for Shadow and Order, featuring new exotic hand cannon, armor ornaments, and more. We've increased the number of cosmetic rewards on the pass as well, including multiple armor sets, ghost shaders, and more. Yes, we said and more twice. Look, we put a lot of extras on this thing. We hope you enjoy it. Kind of makes me wonder, like, this rewards pass for the Monument of Triumph update, is that free for the free-to-plays, the free-to-play players? Or is it the people that purchased the Year of Prophecy that they were going to get this pass anyway? Because Shadow and Order, the Shadow and Order update was free to play anyway. Like, Renegades was the pay to play. Shadow and Order was, as well as what was it? The the last update for Edge of Fate. I forgot what the name of it is. I feel like it had something to do with Iron Banner, but anyway, those were both free to play. Armor ornaments, true exotic armor transmog. Starting June 9th, players may apply common, uncommon, rare, legendary armor ornaments to their exotic armors, visible in PvE environments. Which is kind of cool because then like some of the armor ornaments, they just don't work well with the rest of your drip. So to have it where you can make it look fine is a good touch. Destiny 2 The Collection. We are bundling all Destiny 2 content packs into a singular purchase, available on June 9th. This includes campaigns, dungeon keys, that's a big one, the 30th anniversary pack, and more. Individual, oh, there's in more again. Hey. Individual content packs and expansions will also receive permanent markdowns in June. Which I like kind of sucks, I guess, that I bought all that like legacy pack and all that stuff, and it did not include the dungeon keys for Witch Queen Witch Queen, Lightfall, and Final Shape. So I think that's like 6 dungeons that I didn't get keys for. But with it expansion, I also receive a permanent markdowns in June. Like I'm hoping that dungeon keys, I guess, get a good markdown, because right now I think you can find them. Like you can get the 3-pack of them for $45 basically. Which just seems like a lot for 6 dungeons, honestly. Like, I mean, I could see maybe paying 30, you know, for like $5 a dungeon kind of thing. One more thing, Sparrow Racing League returns, which I never played, but some people seem to be very happy about. SRL returns as a permanent addition, reopening tracks from the original Destiny experience and adding a new space to race opponents on. We've created a new unique weapon set to earn by competing in races. Armor sets return with a new set bonus, and numerous cosmetics, including horns, will be available to earn. Have full breakdown in the coming weeks. TWIDs and developer insights through launch. They're going to be given some weekly updates, and then they'll start spacing them out. And then kind of be as needed for updates and stuff like that. Thank you. Destiny 2 has been our home for many, many years. The unknown can sometimes feel wild, even a bit scary at times, but these opportunities to explore the future are invigorating. As we look ahead, our commitment remains the same: to make games we and you are excited to play. From all of us here at Bungie, we cannot thank you enough for joining us on this journey throughout the Sol system. You'll still find a star side for years to come, per Audacia ad Astra. There it is. The long goodbye. So, like, I'm not really... I'm not a big content creator. I do it for fun. I don't care to get, like, super big or huge. Destiny 2 is not going to be... It wasn't going to be my big rise to fame. I'm a registered nurse. Like, I make money and I enjoy what I do. But at the same time, like, I mean, it does kind of like it's kind of scary that they're calling it on this, and we don't know what the future brings for Destiny in particular. Bungie, whatever, man. Like, they got Marathon, they made Destiny, but I mean, Destiny, the universe of Destiny for a lot of people is like as expansive as Star Wars is for a lot of people. And part of why, I mean, it was an inspiration. It's part of why they did like the little tie-in with the last DLC. But it's like one of those universes that you could see going on forever. And to think that it's coming to an end is sad. You know, whenever, you know, everybody was fine with Star Wars episode 4, 5, and 6, and it was like, oh, hell yeah. But then when they announced prequels 1, 2, and 3, everybody was like, fuck yes, give it to me now. And they turned out not to be that great, I guess. In the, you know, we had our hopes high, I think. But and then later down the road, here comes 7, 8, and 9, which a lot of people shit on. I liked them. I thought the first one, while it had a lot of story beats similar to like A New Hope, I thought it was awesome. Force Awakens, fuck yeah, dude. Give me that shit all day. And then like the second one, or 8, episode 8, I thought that one, like of the 3, it was probably the best one. Of course, you're a little sad that you didn't see Luke Skywalker return, but, or, you know, back to form. But then that, you know, it continues on with the Mandalorian and just the universe. It has so much to offer. So, like, of course, I'd love to see a Destiny 3. You know, they build it with the focus of, like, this is going to be the forever game. Like I said in my video we watched before, like, drop the number. Just call it Destiny. This is Destiny, and it's the forever game, the live service, MMORPG, shooter, whatever. Would love to see that. But you could also see, just like Star Wars did, like spin-offs. You know, there's a lot of characters, a lot of unknowns that we don't really see too much about. You could always do like single, like campaign type spin-offs or whatever, you know. Maya Sundaresh is some kind of bitch that's around. I don't know what happens to her in Renegades or anything, but she seems to be causing problems. You know, you could always do some kind of something where she's like the big bad at the end. I don't know. But that's it. Destiny is going into maintenance mode. Well, I'm going to take a break. It's 2:30 in the morning where I am. Cut this stream off and then probably jump into some Destiny here in a little bit. Continue on with my campaigning. So appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, just finished the Edge of Fate campaign. I don't know if I'm going to go on to Renegades for now and finish that up before I start the older expansions, but there's plenty to do as a new light. And like I said before, I'm looking at it with fresh eyes. I'm not chasing the meta. I'm not chasing the next big thing. I'm just using what's given to me when it comes. And I think that's a good way What's your song about? Your wife lost her memory for a little bit? I wrote a couple rap songs back in the day, probably 20 plus years ago. Does she have encephalopathy? It's tough, man. She's okay now, though. Hell yeah, bro. Well, I don't know what you're up to, but I'm gonna break for a little bit. Like I said, probably get some kind of snack or something, and then I'm gonna jump into some Destiny. Keep it going. So, till next time, we'll see you then. All right, later, man.